Hi everyone and welcome to this watercolour leaf tutorial. Today I'm going to be going through how we handle leaf shapes that are a little bit more complicated, whether it's a serrated edge or a really weird shape. We're going to be looking at how we can get those shapes really nicely done, and that is all about using a good blend of water and colour. So the blending is really important today, and just working nice and quickly and allowing your colours to seep into each other really nicely. So make sure you've got your paint, paper and your water, and of course your brushes, and we'll get started. Okay, let's go. We're doing serrated edge leaves and funny shape leaves today. So I've got my palette saved from when we were doing smooth-sided leaves because there's so much good paint here, it would be silly to lose it. So I'm using my size 8 brush as usual, and I've got my size 2 there just in case. So I've got my nice mixed up sap green with we've got a little bit of cadmium yellow in there as well. Now, a serrated edged leaf, so we see a lot of those in nature, or just wonky shapes, wiggly shapes, oak leaves, beech leaves, all those kinds of things. And here is one way to simplify that down. Now, I'm going to just paint a tapered line like that. And then all I'm going to do is add to the side of that leaf shape, and then I'm just going to come in from the other side and do that too, and then if you really want, that's kind of fun. So let me just do that again because that's quite a fast thing, isn't it? So let's try again. So I start with a central tapered line, and then I work down one side and just curl those. They sort of go from tapered lines and they turn into C curves. And then I like to add a little bit of something at the bottom. Now, those are quite sort of large serrated edges. They'd be quite good for a dahlia leaf. But of course we have shapes of all different types and serrations of different sort of sizes. So let's try another one. Now this time what I'm going to do is I'm also going to show you how to do a curved leaf, because these ones are straight ahead. What happens if we want to get a curved leaf? Well, all we do is we just curve our central line, and then we just work our way down and side. So we're always coming back in to that central line, and you can see I'm making slightly less pronounced serrations just by getting in a little bit closer. And I always do the last one the other way around like that. So that is a nice way of creating a really nice sort of serrated edge of varying degrees, and then allowing for the leaf shape to be curved or bent, or whatever shape we want, by just starting with that tapered line. Either it's going to be straight or it's going to be curving off in a sort of direction. Now let's have a look at some funny leaf shapes. So an oak leaf is funny. I'm actually looking out of my window at some lovely oak leaves. Now again, if you're not too confident with leaf painting, I really recommend just starting with a pencil line, really nice and faint though. And an oak leaf has sort of bulbous tips almost. So the way I do it is I start with the top, and then I work my way down the leaf, always sort of thinking of that central line, and then we'll just end. There we go. And just smoothing it down in, and then I like to sort of send a little bit of green up the top there, and you could always have a few little fronds there. So on the whole, the main focus is that once you've established your central line, whether it is that you've painted it or you've done it with pencil, that everything coming off it is sort of very much growing up and outwards towards it. So in a way, those serrated lines, they were sort of caressing the side of the shape that they'd already painted. These ones are curling up and out. So it's all about curves. Now, let's have a little go at painting a bit of a broader beech leaf shape. So I've shown you how you can construct from using separate shapes, but what happens if you've got a big leaf like a beech tree and the serrations are really quite small, and you don't want to be playing around with those, creating the serration from the shape. So I'm going to instead paint a smooth-sided leaf shape, but I'm sort of painting an outline here, and then I'm going to fill it in with water because it's such a broad leaf shape. Okay, lovely. Now I'm going to take my slightly smaller brush here, and I'm going to take a bit of a greener colour here, and what I'm going to do is, whilst it's still wet, I'm going to paint down the side. Really subtle little zigzags. Now we can see here that that's dried already, so I'm just going to do that just to help it along. And then let's see if I probably haven't got enough time because I've been talking to you a lot, but basically what we're doing here is we've created a round shape that's just the shape we want, and then with a different colour, whilst it's still wet, we've just come in and created the exact shape we want. So we've almost given ourselves a two-step leaf rather than doing it all in one. So let's have another go and let's do it all in one. So the most important thing is that you've got a really wet shape here. Okay. It's like a lemon at this point, filled in with water. Okay. Nice and wet all over. Working fast. I'm going to get my different colour. I'm going to start from the top, and this is such a fun exercise to do for like autumn leaves. I highly recommend that when you've got the beautiful changes. So this is a very subtle serration, but it just works really, really nicely. And you can see already from that one at the top there that has crisped up and turned into a beautiful, almost, it looks so translucent, a beautiful crisp edge that you've got. The main leaf is a really lovely yellowy colour, and instead the edge is that crisp tone there. So I'm going to now mix up a bit of the burnt sienna. No, it's not burnt sienna, that's raw umber. You'll find that I am as good at naming colours as I am good at naming flowers, and that is not very. So I apologise, but I don't think you're here for me to name colours. I think you're here for some painting, and I'm better at that. So we've got a really nice warm colour, and we've got a really sort of dark one here. Now I'd always recommend that you start off with your lighter colour first, and then add in your darker colour for an extra shape. So let's try something a little bit crazy. So I'm going to try, it's not strictly a sort of maple leaf, but I guess it's something that's a bit more multi-pronged. Okay, so what I've done is I've drawn in pencil a very, very delicate, fine pencil, sort of fork almost, and that's just going to be the starting point for me to create this leaf. So lots of water, I'm just creating a really simple maple shape, and it's fine, but it could be even more interesting. So just by adding in these little extra lines gives it so much more colour and interest and character, and also is an exciting kind of changing seasons. So we have to work fairly quickly. And as I always do, when I get to this point, I want to sort of change the direction of my brush. That's absolutely fine to do. And then you can just add in a little bit at the bottom there. What a fun little way of creating a slightly stranger leaf shape. And yeah, the endless possibilities with this kind of exercise means that you'll have so much fun. But yeah, it's a really simple one today, not too long a video. So let's just have a quick look first at a few of the ways that we can create these leaf shapes. So starting with a central line, whether it's painted or whether it's drawn in pencil, and then creating the body of the leaf by those big brush strokes coming down using a nice large brush. And then also you could use a pencil and really create the fronds of the leaf coming out. And then another fun way, when your leaf shape itself is a bit more chunky and you just want to be able to add a tiny bit of a serrated edge, paint in the body of your leaf first in a really wet colour, and then add with your smaller brush. And again, this is a size 2, this is still quite a big brush, but the rounded point tips just mean that we can get really beautiful crisp edges. And yeah, it allows you to create some really, really fun and unusual leaf shapes. Thanks for watching, and that is the second leaf tutorial we've done so far, but we are going to be delving right in and looking at some of my favourite leaves coming up in a few episodes time. So make sure that you hit subscribe because you don't want to miss any of those, and I'd love a hit on the like button if you enjoyed the episode, and comment below and let me know what kind of things you'd like to see me paint. I'm a botanical artist at heart, it's the kind of thing I love to do the most, so I'd love to hear your suggestions. And if you're really into this kind of painting, then New Botanical Painting is my book, which is full of projects of foliage and flora, and then at the end we get to put it all together. And it's a great accompaniment to these YouTube videos because we're learning nice and together at the moment on film, but on here in the book you get to really have a think about how you're interpreting my words. So thanks again, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.